Here at Zsamboki Biokert, we grow organic fruits and vegetables, which we market in local communities, mostly in the city of Gödöllő and in different districts in Budapest. So in the last few weeks, work on the farm has kind of had to stay the same as it would in any season. Of course, we had to take into consideration different health and sanitary considerations, especially when harvesting vegetables, washing vegetables, and preparing orders. So it's the first time in my 7 or 8 years of working here where we would be working with sterilized gloves and masks. But that's not really the story of things. Of course, we're taking care of ourselves and our own considerations for the hygienic standards of the vegetables, but we've certainly seen an increase in interest in our weekly food boxes in the last month, which is an interesting factor. Another thing we've seen interest in is actually local cafes and even community groups who didn't formerly have a box distribution point, who are now suddenly coming up to us saying, we want to start helping distribute your boxes, or we want to have a box distribution point in our neighborhood. So the idea of first people turning more to searching for local food options, but then new potential partners for distributing boxes, thinking of turning their site into a box distribution point for its benefits in helping us get boxes to people, but for also helping to maintain traffic through their cafes, which now can't necessarily operate as normal, or they don't have the same amount of traffic as they would when they could welcome patrons and customers throughout the day. So it was in some case, there has been a case of increasing interest in purchasing local food from Hungarian vegetable and fruit producers, and there's also been an interest in small businesses and also community groups doing what they can to establish box distribution points as well. With the increase in orders, it's on one side a good thing because it helps support our farm as a small business, which gives livelihoods to 10 or 12 people throughout the year, but it comes with a certain amount of logistical and communication requirements as well. So having an influx of a lot of new customers comes with an influx of a lot of questions about how our box system works, what you can order, how does the pickup work, can people get home delivery? So we've had to deal with the logistical and communication, the increases in logistical and communication requirements as well, which has been somewhat of a challenge for us because the same team members who are working with communicating with people and responding in time are also working in the garden and helping prepare boxes. So it's not like we're a company with 100 employees where somebody is just waiting, their sole job is just waiting to answer questions as soon as possible. So any small enterprise might know what it's like to have a small amount of people wearing a lot of different hats and doing a lot of different types of jobs. So this we've had to deal with. It's also in this time we've found it more than ever to start thinking about the other small vegetable and fruit producers who we partner with, because realistically the demand for organic vegetables and Hungarian produced organic vegetables is actually, it's not increasing super fast, but it's increasing faster than the amount of organic vegetables that are being grown in the country, especially since still, due to market tendencies, most of the organic products being grown in Hungary are being sent to foreign markets. It's still a difficult and rare choice to try to market vegetables directly to people. So what we're doing is still quite rare. And for us to be able to put out a stable box offer throughout the year, we need to work with a number of different organic producers in our location so that we can be sure to source all the vegetables we need to make an attractive box offer. We're a small farm, so we can produce a remarkable amount of vegetables throughout the year, but we can't always produce the quantities of some of the staple goods like carrots and potatoes and onions and cabbages. So in this case, we work with partners who we know personally, we know their production standards, we know how their farming methods, we know them personally, the type of people that they are and their working conditions, and we're happy to help them survive as well, and we're happy to purchase and trade products with them. So in this time of increased demand, we've also found it more important than ever to revisit our goals for partnerships with other producers, and we're very happy to work in a network of producers as well, and we want to strengthen this in the future, because what we're doing working together instead of working individually helps ease the burden of that small producers have in getting their products to people. So we're fighting hard to find access in a very competitive market. It's a much better strategy if we work together and market our goods together than competing with each other individually, especially as what we're doing is still very rare, and we're thrown amongst the highly competitive food market, or the traditional food market, even though what we're doing and how we're doing it is completely different. We certainly want to help be part of a movement which helps increase access to locally produced organic foods, organic fruits and vegetables within our community, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we want to be the sole supplier of organic fruits and vegetables in the whole country. We would be very happy if organic production and interest in locally produced organic products grow, so that a lot of farmers and farm communities and people working on farms can go forward successfully and take a bit of the burden off the small number of organic producers who are actually working hard to get their products to people in their own region. So we hope that during this time of crisis, the shift that encouraged people to start thinking about local food options maybe for the first time, we hope that this shift is sustained, and we hope that people interacting with local food systems for the first time in a long time, or maybe revisiting them again, are quite happy with the extra benefits of the system. And certainly in the future we'll continue working to keep maintaining a high level of quality in our system, and also supporting other producers who are doing similar things to us. So of course, from the consumer side or from the side of the patrons, accessing food has become more of a challenge, especially with the restrictions of social distancing, which have been rightfully so encouraged. So it has been a benefit for us that we have a working cooperation with the bike messenger team, and this option, especially in a time of reduced mobility and social distancing, has become quite convenient for a lot of customers. So us already having reliable, lower carbon or much lower carbon home delivery option is something that has been attractive to people, and it's quite reliable as well. So this adds more balance to our system. It's also the type of unique partnership which brings together really different groups of people, or really different small enterprises. So you have people working on a farm, working with a small business of a bike messenger company, and in the background the volunteers of Cargonomia helping make the system work. It's proven the fact that these type of unique partnerships are necessary for alternative and local food systems to thrive. So hopefully this is an example of a proven example that bike mobility and bike logistics in urban areas are reliable and highly useful, and also the benefits of the proximate nature of local food systems are also reliable all the time, not just during times of crisis, but in times without crisis as well. And so we hope that there are some useful lessons that come out of this time, and the interest in supporting local food production endures past the time of crisis as well.